Sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. If all the things you never show, there are the things I want you to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know.
Okay, hey guys, welcome to a live. I know it's been a week. So Sharon, Sharon Parker, sorry for last night. Anyways, you guys, like I said, it's been a week. I don't really do lives as much right now. And Charmaine and Aspen were busy yesterday. And like I said, it's my husband's birthday today. So he's like, why don't you go do a live? And I'm like, because he's gaming. So I was like, okay. So we'll do one on Sebastian Rogers. And I think it was Citizen Sleuth who was telling me about Jay Slater. So we're going to talk about that one as well. You guys remember, anyone that's following the channel, when I should say me and Aspen had covered the Nicola Bully case. And so that case always meant a lot to us, still does for Nicola Bully. And again, so I was told about Jay Slater. So I was looking up at this story this morning when I seen it. And again, another story out of Lancashire. And so anyways, so yeah, so welcome to anyone, of course, who's joining the live. And of course, if you guys don't mind hitting that like button and the share, it's always good to share when somebody is missing, especially when we don't know what has happened to them. Hi, Robin. Hi, June and Mark. So for me, it's kind of a twofold. Nick, my husband is from the UK, so happy birthday to my husband today. So yeah, he's out of Nuneaton from the UK over there. And so for me, it was like we were covering the Nicola Bully story. I swear whenever we go visit England next, I definitely want to go to, the River on the Wire there and, just visit it. Aspen recently had visited Delphi, and gone to the bridge for Abby and Libby and spent some time there because what was supposed to happen, of course, didn't happen with the Delphi case. And, obviously, Delphi case is a nightmare in itself, to be honest. One day those girls will get the justice that they deserve. So Sebastian Rogers, for anyone that's watching right now that doesn't know about Sebastian Rogers, okay? So if you're from the UK and haven't heard of Sebastian Rogers disappeared on February 26th of this year. And I cannot believe that in 4 days, it will be 4 months. Now, the intriguing thing about Sebastian's case is that there's no video, there's nothing to show that he left his home, but that doesn't mean that he didn't leave his home. So it's one of those cases that, with all the digital data and everything out there, it just seems hard to believe that although he if he did leave, right, he bypassed every camera, anything to show that he actually left the home. So it left a lot of people, of course, speculating or targeting the Proudfoots. So on this thumbnail here, Um, the dad is Seth Rogers, that's in the black shirt. And of course, mom is Katie. And the stepdad, of course, is Christopher Proudfoot, and Sebastian's in the yellow there. Now, Sebastian has autism. He's, I think, a high functioning autistic child. He's 16 years old now, I believe he is. 16. December 7th is his birthday. So, yeah. And so we'll talk about Sebastian first, and then we'll go to Jay Slater. And hi, positive vibes. Hi, Victoria. Um, hey, Robin. And there's two Robins there. Hi, Sunny. Happy birthday, husband. Yeah, on there. So, you know, 4 months for Sebastian in 4 days. And I think that not only is this uh, mysterious to people that know this case, um, because it's just odd when you have no footage. Like, let me put it this way: a child does not leave their home if they're happy where they live. They just don't. So, if Sebastian did leave his home, there obviously was a reason. Now, there's been a lot of mudslinging between both sides of the fence. Um, not really going to get into um, the whole drama that has transpired between the parents, and just the circus that it has kind of become, or, so for the most part, I think that, well, I don't know, because I haven't honestly been paying attention to the drama, but I don't think that there's quite as much of Christopher, or Katie talking too much on YouTube channels as much anymore, which is a good thing, honestly. At some point, at the end of the day, it becomes this: look, from their lips to God's ears, in a sense, if you want to put it that way. If they have any inkling of what happened to Sebastian, that's on them. And if they don't, again, that's on them. Um, like I said, it's a child that's missing. I personally would have never handled it the way that what visually we're seeing from Katie Proudfoot, the mom. Christopher Proudfoot is far from an example of a stepdad that I personally wouldn't want for one but but just to me as a parent, any parent that has a child, you would just, no matter what, you would just put yourself out there to the public, because you're asking for the public's help. You want the public to search. You want the public to offer money and stuff like that to help. Seth Rogers, to me still, even if I don't agree with some of the stuff he's been doing, either way, it's their choice, how they present themselves to the public. And if they, let me just put it this way, if they get shit on, well, they have nobody to blame besides some of their actions that they've been doing, because we're talking about a missing child. And when a child is missing, you wouldn't think that all this mudslinging and drama would be happening, and you would think it would be a cohesive thing, that they would work together in the goal of finding Sebastian Rogers and put their crap to the side. That's not really what's happened, sadly. But at the end of the day, what happened? Where is Sebastian? Is he alive? Is he dead? Let's see here. They are living their best life. Seth's birthday, was it a couple of days ago for Seth? Well, I guess he didn't get his wish, which would be to have Sebastian come home. I've stepped away from the case. I pray one day I look onto YouTube and see he's found. I do too, of course, Robin. I would love to think that Sebastian is out there and that he left on his own accord. And for whatever reason, he obviously was unhappy, because the alternative is a lot more bleaker. Thank you, positive vibes, and that. So, yeah, the alternative, obviously is bleaker. People can choose their sides or choose whatever. At the end of the day, this channel is Team Sebastian. We just want to know where Sebastian is. And, did they overlook him in the search? Is he dead somewhere? Did he leave willingly, on his own accord? Um, I'll say my personal opinion on this part, but I'm not going to get in, like I said, to the drama of it. It's just a joke to sit there and honestly venture into the drama part. Some channels like to do that and stuff like that, clicks and views or whatever their reasons are. Just not into that stuff. But I will say that, the impression that I've gotten myself is Christopher Proudfoot, he's a stepdad, okay? He is not going to have those same feelings and emotions, not because he's a stepdad, but because of his personality that you can kind of see what it is. And he's even said, like, I don't really show my emotions outwardly. That's fact. So Christopher Proudfoot, he comes across to me like, well, it is what it is. Life goes on. And granted, it does. I don't know that I'd be saying it like that, but he's a step parent. So I kind of don't put as much emphasis on his thoughts so much because of the fact that he doesn't remind me of this loving, caring stepdad as some stepdads out there can be. He just reminds me of, you know, um, you know what? Okay, so it is what it is. Let's move on. If he ever shows up again, he obviously ran away. So, hey, when he shows up, Katie reminds me of a mother that doesn't seem to, I think, I feel like she's pretensive to me in a sense that um, that not to say she doesn't love her son, but I don't feel this strong bonding connection. And I think when Seth kind of spoke one day about Katie, it kind of shone the light to me. I know it's one-sided, but still you kind of look at both ways, right? And what Katie has portrayed. I don't overly see this big bond between Katie and her son. And if we are to believe kind of what Seth said when he was talking about Katie, and it's kind of like she was a sledgehammer sleeping, and so he always had to keep getting up. It's almost like the way it was portrayed that from Seth's point of view was basically he was the one that took care of Sebastian, and that it's almost like Sebastian seemed to be more of an inconvenience to Katie. So I think that the actions that she shows to me match that. Whereas I see with Seth, somebody that he's definitely rough around the edges, but I knew that from the start, you know. And then that slowly came out throughout his interviews, cursing, swearing, and getting angry and going kind. It's like he was going through the emotions publicly, which I don't think was a great call. I think it's one thing to go through emotions, but I think that his emotions got the best of him in some of those interviews. And then the tides turned on Seth, and then everyone started. It's almost like Christopher sitting there with a big smirk, smuggy smirk on his face, going, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's time that people start lashing out at Seth and not me, and take their eyes off of me, and and see that like, when somebody is feeling like shit on, and this person's getting all like the, oh my god, Seth is the best, Seth is the greatest dad type of thing. That's pretty much what happened, but is it far from the truth? Probably not, to be honest with you. um but Seth, I still feel a real connection when he speaks about Sebastian, and that he maybe he wasn't the perfect dad, but I think he was a pretty good dad overall. People can believe what they want to when it comes to allegations and one-sided stories, whatever they want to read, and some of those statements from Katie about what happened to poor Katie. I don't think that there's this big poor Katie. I think in general, when people are angry, and especially sorry people, but when women are pissed off, there's nothing like a woman's scorn, right? And so I always kind of look, is what Katie's saying truthful, or is she exaggerating the truth? And I feel like she was exaggerating the truth. And I just think that lots of times that happens when couples, of course, go through kind of more like a nastier kind of separation, and child custody and stuff. Either way, they both had each custody of Sebastian. um so To me, it's kind of like if Sebastian ran away, he didn't take anything, okay? Has a lot of supporters. Um, I wouldn't say that Seth. Well, let me put it this way, Robin. Whatever supporters Seth has, good on them. Whoever, whether it's Christopher or Katie, who's ever one you feel like, he's lost a lot of supporters. Is what he's done, and we've watched that literally go from he had the support of the public, and now that's been like chopped in half at least. For that. Hey, they just found Sebastian's. Okay, so seeing what your name is, we'll just ban you right there because you're an idiot. All right. Bye bye, idiot. Really, honestly, some people, it never ceases to amaze me that these losers come onto a live, like a troll, that, let it happen to your child and then talk smack like that. Like, what a stupid comment. I'm not even going to repeat it if you guys didn't say it. At the end of the day, it's about Sebastian. And where is Sebastian? But to me, it's kind of like, remember, this child, he never took anything. Okay. The only thing apparently he took was a small little keychain flashlight. All right. He never took his phone, never took anything. No snacks. He loves his snacks. Didn't take a knapsack, didn't take any special thing of meaning to him, didn't take his shoes. Right. So that in itself makes you wonder, like, really? So a child just is going to take off, run away, and he's literally not going to take his money that's in his closet. He's not going to take, like I said, he had a special blanket. He's not going to take, what else? You know, it is, it's just incomprehensible that a child would leave. Because, so like I've kind of said before, usually if somebody leaves everything, it means that they're going to go take their own life half the time. That's usually what that means. Now, did Sebastian Rogers decide he was going to do that? Who knows? Honestly, who knows? It depends where his headspace was at here. Did he feel loved? Did he feel not loved? Depression is a real thing, obviously, but who knows? All we know is that we know nothing. That's what we know about Sebastian Rogers' disappearance. And for me personally, I still think that Ellie has no clue what happened to Sebastian Rogers either. The road that they lived on has no lighting. Okay. So apparently, according to Katie, because the whole story is according to Katie, so there's a whole timeline going on, but according to Katie, between 12 o'clock at night to 6 in the morning is when Sebastian Rogers disappeared. Now, there are neighbors that have cameras, but apparently, like, you couldn't see anything. It was too dark, and Seth couldn't even make out if it was Sebastian taking the garbage to the garbage can, but yet somebody took the garbage to the garbage can because he said he could see, like, movement. So chances are, I'm still going to believe that chances are that was Sebastian when they got home taking the garbage out to the front, but again, we're talking February 26th. I'm not sure exactly what time sunset was on that day. So let's just see what you guys are saying. Why be that way? That's crude. Bossy, I'm not actually sure what you're referring to on this one. Yeah. I support Sebastian. I don't honestly, for me, the parents, like I said, the parents can do what they want. They can either band together, which they should be doing. I don't honestly care about the parents, because it's not about caring about the parents, really. It's about caring about Sebastian. He's the child. He's the person that's missing. The other ones are alive and fine. Well, fine, in the sense of that they're alive. So, yeah, the parents, like, it doesn't actually matter what case it is for me. I will feel bad for genuine parents and whatever, but at the end of the day, it's always about the victim. That's what the story is usually about, is like victim. When a child is missing, it's about the child. how they want to present themselves to the public, that's on them. I think at minimum he'd have, right, Gigi. I think so too, right? Like, again, it's not something that, like, when you think about an everyday occurrence, what are the chances of a child, that, yes, he is has high autism or whatever, high functioning autism, but what's the chances that a child that they're going to decide to leave the home, take literally nothing besides a little flashlight? It's just not a logical thing that normally would happen. So that's what makes it weird. Can almost spend my paycheck CP, or half your paycheck anyway. Why would Katie feel that she had to say that he took the garbage out? Well, if it's true, I mean, obviously there's a video of somebody taking the garbage out that night, because she said it was a regular chore. The thing with Katie is Katie's never been upfront about her timeline. It's always been very vague. Katie's never brought up the phone call between her and Chris. Um, Again, just all these things. It's, as people that are following a case, you look at every little drip droplet of what's being said. And so, yeah, it's easy to forget things sometimes and, remember things later on. But with Katie, the timeline has always been like pulling teeth. She's never given like a full timeline in one sitting. You have to put it together to get the timeline. And again, it's based on Katie's timeline. Oh, it was the crew. Yeah, I know. It's stuff like that, Bossy, that's just ridiculous. Like I said, it just, when people sit behind a computer and they just type whatever they want, you know, and I call that just karma. You know what? Like I said, you want to be an idiot on streams and be a troll, your real life must really suck. Like, honestly, you must be so bored in your real life. Either your wife doesn't love you, your husband doesn't love you. If you need to come troll, maybe nobody loves you, to be honest with you. Maybe one person. I have changed my opinion on what is going on with Sebastian's case a few times. I still hoping he's hidden somewhere. I know I do flip flop myself, to be honest with you. You know, my original statement from the start was Sebastian that Sebastian did leave his home and that they missed him during the search. But honestly, with Sebastian's case, unless you have that missing piece with Sebastian, you simply just honestly don't know. Like, yes, Sebastian, they can't place him. Like, they can't place him once he arrived home. They can't place him leaving the home at all. That doesn't mean he didn't leave the home. You have a very dark street. The cameras that are working can't make out Sebastian. But does that mean he didn't leave? But it's been 4 months. In my head, I don't know. Because, I only ran away one time, that, like, when I was younger. And it was like literally, we were living in condominiums and they had like a park in the middle of the condominiums. And I literally just hid underneath somebody's steps for about 20 minutes. And then I felt bad because my mom had to go up to the island and she was going to take us to the Belshams, which is my stepdad's parents' place. But I didn't like going there because they always believed my twin sister. Whenever my sister would accuse me of something like cheating, playing cards, it's like, get real. But they always believed her. And so I hated going there. And I was just, because you'd have to know growing up, right? Just because I was outspoken, I guess it meant I was the troublemaker. And if you were a pretending nun, everyone always believed my twin. So I hated going there. I didn't want to go there. I was mad at my mom, so I ran away for 20 minutes. Then I felt bad. So I went back home because I just didn't want to, obviously take away from her trip, making her wonder where I was, because it would be like the wrong thing. I remember everything about my deceased children's cases. The cases that you follow, you mean, Robin? I'm robbing a bank in my boxers. Hi, Tony. I guess it's Tony Mathis, TBI. So I'm assuming that you decided to make yourself a Tony Mathis TBI name because you are that bored. Those type have both self-love and self-loathing. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Ah, da, 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 da. You know what? I don't put up with trolls, so anyone that wants to troll, come on at it. Come on. I'm just gonna block your ass anyway. I can't stand you type of people. You literally like what do you do? Wake up in the morning going, God, I'm such a loser. Let me just go into people's lives and troll. Like you literally have to be a big ass loser to sit there and think that making a mockery out of somebody's case that's missing, is the highlight of your day. I know. It is confusing for sure. That troll's name, as when I blocked it, came up as Tony Mathis. Let's see. I don't care. Can trolls? Can no? No. They'll just go and they'll make another name, and then they'll show up again. Um. So hey, we up in here, yeah, skirt. I'm gonna rap tonight at Paramore or Backstreet Boys. So you know what? Let me go check that one because I know T Rev. Well, I don't know T Rev, but I know that it have his channel. So let's go see. Let's just go take a look for a second. Let's go see where that. Let's go to my channel. Let's go to this. 1 second. Let's see here. Go to channel. Yeah, so that's like a nobody. Do. Oh, did somebody already get him? Oh no, there we go. Do boom 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 boom. Another loser bites the dust. Sure. Yeah, what is it? Are people so bored that there's no Sebastian lives going on that they're like, hey, you know what? Actually, hold on. Let me edit customization. You know what? You want to be a subscriber? Either you 20 minutes, and you can come back in, you useless trolls. On there. Anyways, I've played two of my children. For the rest, one was 5, and the other was. I played two of. Oh, laid, yeah, on there. That's right, Robin. Okay, yeah. So prayers for anyone that has suffered any loss to their lives. Especially when it's like the death of a child or losing a family member by murdered. But one of the biggest things to me for anything is that when somebody has no idea, and this is the same with Sebastian's case here, and at the moment with Jay Slater, when you have no clue what has happened to our loved one, whether they're alive, whether they're dead, and anyone with a child will always hold out hope, but usually knowing inside, depending on the situation. I think Sebastian's case has a chance. It has a chance of maybe possibly having a good outcome. It has a chance. But typically we know usually how these type of stories end up. But I would say that his does have a chance, on there. So again, with we'll come back around, but anyways, so with Sebastian Rogers, actually, I know that some of you guys would have seen this already because I've seen it myself, but we'll play the one with Seth and Tony in it with News Nation. We'll do that. I think this 1 second here. Oh, I just got nice and big, didn't I? All right, so stop, present, share screen. Let's do that. Oh, this one right here. Okay. So let's just play this.
Other Seth Rogers and his spokesperson, Tony Mathis. Thank you to the both of you. And Seth, I'm really so sorry that, here we are having this conversation with News Nation again about your son, Sebastian, and it's been all these months. Do you have any updates? Have you heard anything, any leads, anything at all from the police?
No, ma'am. I haven't. Every lead that I do come across, I have my private investigators searching into it.
And have they come up with anything? Have they been helpful?
We've had pictures and stuff come in. My private investigators track it down. And then we find out that it's just another rabbit hole. Sumner County, I give them all the tips that I get. Just not really.
And so when you give them the tips that you come up with your private investigators, are they thankful? Do they indicate to you that this is helpful? Do you have a good relationship with the police? Do you feel like they're on your side, that they're working hard?
That's what they're conveying to me. But
I can't imagine how hard this must be.
I'm not seeing my son's not here. This is my first Father's Day. And what made me a father is not here.
I'm so sorry. I am just so sorry. If there's, anything we can do, we'll keep the story, in the news. What's so bizarre is that Katie and Chris packed up and left that home. Are you in contact with them at all? I know originally they weren't talking to you at all. They weren't sharing information, which also seemed bizarre to me. Even if a split up is acrimonious, you still have this shared goal, right? To find your boy. Has it gotten any better between you and Katie in terms of sharing info?
It doesn't feel like a shared goal. It sure doesn't feel like a shared goal.
Wow.
It feels like it's only my goal and all of Sebastian's army. It's their goal. It's my goal to find Sebastian. But as for contact between me and the Proudfoots, there has been no contact.
Still nothing.
It's like I'm the only one that misses my son.
Let me ask you, Tony, if you can jump in here. I know that you and Seth asked for the FBI to engage, take over, become a part of the case. Where has that gone, if anywhere?
Well, as you well know, Ashley, it's only going to go somewhere if the Sumner County asks for them to take the case over. And kind of where we're at and where I've been all along is I just want them to answer one simple question for Seth. And I feel like that he deserves an answer to this question. Are they closer today than they were February 26th? And if the answer to that is no, or we can't get an answer, then I think it's only logical that the case be elevated.
Yeah, it seems, what are we? I think 114 days. I understand that investigators can't always share everything. But do you feel, Tony, that at least they have been, optimistic or helpful or hopeful, or at least been keeping Seth up to speed on what they're doing?
I think that we feel like that the communication could always be better. And, let's put you or I as a parent in Seth's shoes. If they can't give you an answer to the question, are you any further along today than you were 114 days ago? I mean, as a parent, are you not terrified to hear that?
I can't imagine it. Seth, if Sebastian can hear you, if he's out there, what's your message for him?
Same as it's always been. I need you to get away from whoever you're near. Get to a phone. My phone is still on, son. The same phone number. Everything. I need you to call me. I need you to call 911. I need you to tell who you are. That you need to tell them that you are wanted. I need you home. I need to know you're safe. I need you, buddy. You've always been my buddy, and you will always be my brother.
Stay strong, Seth. We got your back here. We're going to keep the story on the air. Somebody knows something, and there's going to be a lead that turns up. In the meantime, we do want people to know, Seth Rogers and Tony Mathis, thank you for this. We do want people to know that if you have any information on the whereabouts of Sebastian Rogers, please call the Sumner County Sheriff.
Leave that at that. Let's see here. Okay, I don't know. So I think that's a pretty fair question, though. Like, imagine if it was your child, right? And I think that's a fair question that the parent should be told. What Tony had said there. Are you closer today than you were 114 days ago, which is now like 116 days. Again, we're 4 days off of 4 months for Sebastian Rogers missing. But I think that's a really fair question. That as a parent, right, just put yourself in those shoes, and imagine if you're not hearing anything. I think that's a fair question. Don't you guys think so? Oh, yeah. That must have been a hard one for Seth, Father's Day. The thing about Seth that's always, like I said, if someone were to ask me about the parents, Seth to me has the most genuine responses. He still tears up whenever he's talking about his son. You can see that he misses his child greatly. Who knows whatever was going through Sebastian's mind, or if anything was going through Sebastian's mind, because there's no signs of foul play, right, on either of the sides. So what happened to Sebastian? But that must have been a hard day on Father's Day, just like Mother's Day when it comes around. But my heart at least feels, okay, that Seth has always spoken with genuineness when he speaks about his child, that he loves his son. He's worked hard to try to search for his son, and he's that parent that's going to keep going and going. Like I said, I don't see that same. I'm sorry, but I'm just really not seeing it from the Proudfoot side. Maybe the truth will be told, hopefully one day, what truly happened with Sebastian. Do I feel in my heart of hearts that Katie and Chris had something to do with Sebastian's disappearance? Well, maybe not physically. Maybe it was, again, Sebastian. If Sebastian left, which would be the only other alternative, right? If somebody left, perhaps aided him in leaving because Sebastian didn't want to be there. But then obviously that meant that he didn't want to be around his dad either. So it's really hard to try to understand what did happen to Sebastian. We've heard some stuff with regards to the Proudfoots, Katie and Christopher. We've heard stuff with regards to Seth, but still, no parent is perfect. That's for darn sure. But a child is not going to leave their home if they love being at their home. It's just not going to happen. So if a child doesn't like being at their home and they're going to run away, still, why would they not take anything with them at all? Why? You know, it just seems unlikely that a child, especially your shoes, okay, especially your shoes. I can look everything else or some of it, but I can't overlook that a child doesn't take anything, and then on top of that doesn't take his shoes. You know, especially a child that, according to Seth, didn't really like, you know, like, we don't know if, say, if he did leave his home, was he barefoot or was he in socks, right? um it's just one of those ones that only time will ever tell the story. I always think of Nicola Bully's case, you know, how they didn't find her with all the, you know, with all the dogs and drones and searchers and, you know, all these expert divers and all that stuff, and how they never found Nicola Bully in this river on the wire that wasn't even that wide. And it, you know, it was so ridiculous to me how they can have all this, these resources, and still not have found her. And then a psychic medium finds her 3 weeks later, you know, about a mile down from where the bench was on the river wire. So I can't help but always think that with Sebastian's case, it keeps always nagging at me how they can do all these searches, you know, just like other cases, they can do these searches. And then sometimes these victims are found within the same area of actually where they were kind of last seen. And so I can't always help but think, you know, was Sebastian Rogers, did he run away? Did something happen to him? Like, did he fall victim to the circumstances outside? And did they overlook him? You know, if he did run away. And I just wish that they would let the parents know, like, are you, like, you don't have to tell them anything besides, are you a little bit closer, you know, than you were? Do you have like anything in it, like something, you know? Is there another troll? He couldn't find his way out of a cardboard box. He's gone. Okay, let's take a look at your account. Go to channel. 2 subscribers. Oh, Seth Rogers investigates. 2 subscribers. June 12th, 2024, you made this account. Oh, troll ban user. Oh, it's just probably one of the other losers, to be honest with you. I doubt Sebastian. I know, like, I mean, according to Katie, that they still could never find it. Hi, Magnolia. Yeah, there's just, you know, they're thick on there, but it's like I said, get a life. You know, karma. Let karma come to those idiots. Just remember, it's too bad that the internet, you know, it's meant to be for good things, and yet there's so much bad things on it as well. You know, whether it's people trying to hack you, scam you, you know, people that just sit there, you know, eating their bonbons and chips and going, oh, I think I'm just going to get out of bed today. I'm just going to go troll around because my life is so non-existent to anybody else out there. But on the internet, I'm somewhat important to myself, you know, but really you're still a big loser, you know, because it takes a really shitty person to do stuff like that, especially in the sake of missing, the missing and the murdered. It really takes a good piece of shit to literally go around trolling, you know. She's JLR's girlfriend. The real one is. Okay, wait. Oh, yeah, okay. Ban user. Yeah, there goes another one. Is that, yeah, I thought I remembered that name from somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. You know, the thing is, in all fairness, YouTube don't do crap. Just gonna say that. YouTube doesn't do crap. I'll tell you that. Mm, You know, I wish that really wish that YouTube, um, if you're gonna put out rules out there, I really wish that they would live up to their rules that they make. That would be nice. Okay, so Sebastian Rogers again, such a very sad case. This boy that has such a. Let me just put up his actually picture. Um, let's do that before we go off of him. So Sebastian, whoops, present, share screen, window. There we go. Okay, Sebastian Rogers. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, last seen February 26, 2024 in Sumner County, Tennessee, wearing a black t-shirt, black sweatpants, and wearing glasses. Now, those black sweatpants had like the Nike lines going down the side of them. Of course, contact 865-544-0751. Got to keep awareness out there, right? There's some people that have no clue about true crime or missing people. So it's just maybe a matter of somebody, either if they aided in helping Sebastian, maybe some guilt might go over the person. Maybe Sebastian at some point, if he is alive, will come back, and maybe we'll find out the real answers. Or if he's deceased, obviously, and there's no foul play, did he hurt himself and is deceased somewhere? It's really sad to think that way, but it's also very realistic. But at least with Sebastian's case, there's nothing to show that he's alive or dead. So at least that there's still hope that we should always choose to look for the more positive side, knowing full well that usually cases don't end up, on the good side. But when we don't have any answers, like with Sebastian, there is definitely some hope in his case. I support with Stefa. No, I can't do lives as much as I do and stuff like that. So I'm just doing them as I can. I know, like I said, today is my husband's birthday. So happy birthday, husband, again, if you happen to pop in here. I doubt it. He's too busy gaming, but we're going to go out for dinner later. I'm just not sure what he wants. If he wants Indian, because he likes his Indian, or if he wants pizza. I don't know. Whatever. But next week, I work next week. But the week after that, because it's kind of like my birthday week that I took off. And plus it's Canada Day on July 1st, because if anyone doesn't know, I'm from the Vancouver, British Columbia area, in Langley over here. But July 1st is Canada Day, July 3rd is mine and my twin's birthday. July, of course, 4th is, what is it? Independence Day. Is that what it's called for July 4th? Independence Day. All I think about is your guys' fireworks. I think July 4th fireworks. We used to have some really cool fireworks over here. The different, the world, like, was like world fireworks, but then they ended up stopped doing that. But anyways, and then mine and my husband's anniversary is coming up in July here too. But anyways, I have that week off, so I can probably do a few more lives then on that. So so Citizen Sleuth, this is the one. Where is she? I think that Citizen Sleuth, I think you're the one that put a comment. I happened to see it. Pretty sure that you're the one that was talking about the Jay Slater, correct? No, I'm not a big planner of things, to be honest. I just, my husband will be working, so I'm just like, YOLO. I decided to use a week of my holidays. Save the other. I get 3 weeks holidays at my job. Most places only give 2, but my job gives 3. My company is really good. Okay. So So let's get into that. So let's so prayers for Sebastian, okay? And again, hopefully his story is told one day. It's been 4 months. I just don't know, you know. I don't. I'm not seeing a soon type of ending for Sebastian's. In fact, this Sebastian's could go on for a long time, to be honest with you, and that's really sad. Okay, so Jay Slater, okay, age 19, last spoken to at 8:50 a.m. on the 17th of June of this year at location above, which is natural park of. I don't even know how to say these words, so I'm sorry if I butcher them because I think that says Tino and then Tenerife. Tenerife. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. So anyone from the UK, if you want to do the spell out for me, then that will be great because I'm not really sure how to say it. Previously attended the NRG festival in Tenerife, wearing a white t-shirt, shorts, trainers, and a black bag. Okay, so yes, that's what it is. July 4th is my oldest grandchild's birthday. She'll be 18. Oh, what a day to fall on, eh? Betty is on her way to Tennessee. I pray she gets answers. Okay, so I think it's Bullhorn Betty is who you're referring to. Yeah, and thank you for making me aware of this case right here on there. It's again right now. I think that they've amped up the search. I thought she was there last week and back home now. Oh, okay. And she left this morning. Robin, hopefully she don't go there acting a fool like she used to. Lucy's story isn't adding up. Talking about Lucy's story. Which Lucy? Oh, there she is. Hey, Charmaine. Charmaine's traveling over there. She's in Lethbridge, Tenerife, right? Tenerife. Okay. She was there when JLR was there after he filmed Rory, after he committed a bad crime against a family. I think he was on the border. I haven't caught up with JLR lately. Robin, I hope she don't either. You know, what is she going down there to do? What is Betty going down there to do? Hi, Olivia B. Welcome. And again, if you guys, Lucy, oh, okay, I had a feeling. So my thing is this. I read some of the story this morning on it. But lots of times I like to, for people that don't know about it, like myself, I was going to read more of it. So I got the gist of kind of what's happened here. So I had a feeling that Lucy name was to do with the J. In my head, for some reason, I was like, Lucy Letby, what? Because I know that she has her thing going on. Okay, so let's stop screen and let's go to this article here. Okay, so let me make this bigger. 2 secs here. Okay, so that's where I got my picture from on there. So let's see what we got here. Okay. So what is this saying? By Monday, Jay had called Lucy to say he had attempted to hike back having missed the bus, but was now lost and in desperate need of water. Jay left the rave in southern Tenerife, with a group of people he met that day, telling Lucy he was staying with them at their apartment in an undisclosed location. Okay, so let's see. Timeline of the mystery disappearance of British teen Jay Slater in Tenerife from the last picture of the 19-year-old on a night out to a text to a friend saying he was lost before he vanished, sparking a desperate island-wide search. So just in chat, just because there's 42 people on Twitter. Hello, Twitter. And 56 people inside of the YouTube channel. So how many people, just hit a 1 or a 2 if you know of this case for Jay Slater? Just a 1 or a 2. Yeah. Love my Charmaine. She's my Canadian bestie over here. Yeah, that's right. Life, right, Charmaine? Gets in the way of things sometimes. Anyways, love you, girl. Yeah, so these are all names that are new. So welcome anyone that's following this case. Feel free to put your thoughts about what you're thinking is going on with this case in the chat. Again, so for anyone that is new to watching, of course, the channel, so always know that you have a right to your opinion and your thoughts, as long as you always just keep it respectful. And if you disagree with somebody else's opinions, they still have a right to their own, just like you do. So just be kind and caring to each other. But you can say what you like. Just be respectful about it when it comes to the cases, okay? Because everyone has a right to their own thoughts, even if they're totally off on a different, thought than yours, okay? Okay, so let's see here. So anyways, welcome to everyone that is following this case. So let's see here. So the British teen Jay Slater I'm going to say this, and if I butcher it, I'm so sorry, but that looks like Oswald Twistle. Am I saying that right? Oswald Twistle. Oswald Twistle. That's quite the mouthful. In Lancashire. Has been missing in Tenerife since Monday. Who are you? All these names. Did I say that right? Oswald Twistle? Hope I did. Anyways, it gets really hard. Some of these names, I swear. Let's see here. Okay, the 19-year-old apprentice bricklayer traveled to the Canary Islands last week for the New Rave Generation NRG music festival with pal Lucy May and another friend. However, things started to go wrong on Sunday night when Jay chose to stay out with people they met that day instead of go back to the accommodation with his friends. By Monday morning, Jay had called Lucy in a panic to say that he had attempted to hike back, having missed his bus, but was now lost and in desperate need of water. He has not been heard from since. Below is a full timeline of his known movements since Sunday. And of course, this is him. He kind of looks like my brother-in-law a little bit, to be honest with you. Right when I seen his face, I was like, oh, it kind of reminds me of my husband's brother who lives with us. Jay is seen in this image shared to his friend Lucy's social media days before he disappeared. Okay, so what do we got here? So Monday, 9 a.m., Jay is reported missing. Police launch mountain rescue. Jay's mother and brother fly to Tenerife. At 8:50, okay, how come they're starting? Oh, I see, down here. This is the first one here. Attended the 3-day NRG festival that ended on the Sunday the 16th in Papagayo to Beach Club in South Tenerife. 2 at 8:50, Monday. So Jay calls friend Lucy lost with no water and low battery. Last known location is Tino National Park near Masca Village. Okay, so there's the club. There's the park. And then 9 o'clock, Jay is reported missing. Police launch the mountain rescue. Jay's mother and brother fly to Tenerife. Okay, so June 16th, Jay left the rave in South Tenerife with a group of people he met that day, telling Lucy he was staying with them at their apartment in an undisclosed location. One of the group has a hire car. 8:35. Jay is seen in the final Snapchat clip before his disappearance. So that's at 8:35 p.m. wearing a gray t-shirt with a green stripe. June 17th, the next day, 8:15 a.m. Lucy said she received a panic call from Jay in which he said his phone battery was only 1%. He was lost and in desperate need of water. He continued that he had missed his bus back and was attempting to walk back using a Maps app on his phone. His phone location showed he was in a mountainous area of the national park, some 10 hours walk away from his accommodation. Okay, so that's at 8:15 a.m. Okay, that's his shirt. So it's more of a gray, not white. Green stripe. Okay. So this is okay. So Lucy May said of Jay, he's ended up out in the middle of nowhere. Jay was obviously thinking he would be able to get home from there. Then in the morning, he sets off walking using his maps on his phone and ended up in the middle of the mountains with nothing around. Okay, what do we got? Can you guys see that? Let's take a look at some of these photos that they got going on. Come on, giddy up. Okay, I don't know why it's not going forward. It's never happened before. Huh. I don't know why that happened. 1 second. Okay, so anyways, okay, the pictures will be down here anyway. Okay, so this is Tenerife. Last known location registered in rural Destino National Park. Okay, so at 8:50 a.m., Jay's phone dies. Its last known location is believed to be somewhere in the rural Destino National Park, close to the PRTF51 hiking trail above the small village of Masca. Okay. At 9:04, police in Tenerife are alerted, and Lucy also gets in touch with the British Embassy. On the next day now, so 2 days, so 16th is when he's at the last day of the rave or whatever. Yesterday morning, he contacts Lucy. His phone dies. And June 18th, 2:30 a.m., so Jay's mother, Debbie Duncan, and stepdad, Andy Watson, 63, are alerted to his disappearance when police officers knock on their door in the early hours of the morning. The officers advised that the best thing they could do was to get yourself out there. So that's him there. It's so sad. Okay. So at 11:35 on the same day, the 18th, Miss Duncan and Jay's brother Zach land in Tenerife after catching the first flight out of Manchester Airport. At 1:45, specialist mountain rescue teams and helicopters are deployed in the search to find missing Jay. 2:30 p.m., Miss Duncan's post an appeal on Facebook updating that her son is still missing and pleading with others to come forward if they know any further information. Tuesday evening, the search is currently focused on the Masca hamlet in the municipality of Bonavista del Norte, or Del Norte, however you say it. A civil guard spokesperson said that the mountain rescue teams and helicopters have been deployed in the search for missing Jay. A local resident living in Tenerife has printed out missing posters to put up around. Yeah, this got all these words that I have no clue. Adagi or Adagi. That's Dog the Bounty Hunter. So I think, let's see here. I think that's it for this part. Okay. I'll come back. Sorry, you guys, when I'm on a different page, I actually can't see what you guys are saying on there. So come back on there and let's see. Okay. Haha. Smart ass. I had a flashback to Bette Midler singing Oswald Tisling. Oh, from the movie Beaches. I remember the movie Beaches. Beaches. Not trying to be just like, I know you're not. Okay. Had to say it because she's talking about being respectful. I'll never forget. Sharon, I had to say it because she was talking about being respectful. I'll never forget that line. Which one was that, Stuffa? Which one was that? I believe Sebastian is in the water and has gone from us. My impression only. Your thoughts are not far from mine on that one, Charlotte. Loosely is a big drug runner, allegedly, and she roped Jay into it, and he lost half the stuff in the club. So Moroccans have asked for $30,000 to be paid for his release, allegedly. Okay. He called her saying he was lost, yet she called cops to report him as a missing person. Damn, didn't mean to delete that on there. Not exactly sure what you're saying there, to be honest. Okay, well, let's see here. Let's see. 4 hours ago. Let's see. Stop screen. Let's see here. It's blah blah. Yeah, accept all. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. This is by Sky News. Debbie Duncan, who flew to Tenerife the day after a 19-year-old son went missing while on holiday with friends, fears something untoward may have happened to him. Never even heard that word, something untoward. Huh. The mother of Jay Slater, the British teenager, is missing. Says she spent 8 hours in a police station on Friday as police outlined their search plans. On Saturday, the 6th day of the search, which is today, police, rescue dogs, and firefighters reconvened at the Tino Park. That was the last location logged by Mr. Slater's phone. Mrs. Duncan told The Guardian police have said that noise around the case was affecting their investigation, but she believes that they are stepping up their search. It comes after reports somebody logged in. It comes after reports somebody logged into Mr. Slater's Instagram, who was not him. Oh, good-looking boy. Let's see. Just trying to see if this says anything different. Father and brother broke emotional pleas for Jay's safe return. She thinks something. I have to say, like, I've never heard the word untoward used over here in Canada. But then again, when I was talking with my mother-in-law today, we never used the word fortnight, which is, I guess, 2 weeks. You know, it sounds so like back in the day. Like I can't help but when someone says fortnight, castle keeps popping up in my head because we would never use that term fortnight either. So when she says it, I'm just like, I had to think about that for a second. So I think a fortnight's 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. It comes after reports logged into Instagram. Rachel Louise Harg or whatever set up a GoFundMe page to go towards search efforts and a Facebook page to help find him, which has raised more than £26,000 of its £30,000 target by Saturday. She said people, let's see what this says. She said people have been hacking the social media accounts of Mr. Slater's family. We're sick in the head. Oh, there's a lot of those people.
I saw the boy in the morning at around 8 a.m. He asked twice what time the bus came. I told him at 10 o'clock. He came back and asked me again, and I told him again at 10 o'clock. After that, he walked off, and I didn't see him again. Later, I got in my car, and I saw him. He was walking quickly, but I didn't see him again after that.
Okay, so 8 o'clock. So, I mean, he was seen. Let's listen to that again.
I saw the boy in the morning at around 8 a.m. He asked twice what time the bus came. I told him at 10 o'clock. He came back and asked me again, and I told him again at 10 o'clock. After that, he walked off, and I didn't see him again. Later, I got in my car, and I saw him. He was walking quickly, but I didn't see him again after that.
So, I mean, it's during the day. So it's not like it's at nighttime at that point. Mrs. Duncan said the police told her they were investigating all leads. They were all plans. They got all their plans. They got all the plans, their locations, she added. They have got this map they're showing us shaded in different colors. So I guess this here is the area. I can't make it any bigger. She renewed calls from British police to help with the search, saying that there had been a problem with the language barrier, but Spanish police have rejected an offer by Lancashire Constabulary to assist. The force said, while the case falls outside the jurisdiction of UK policing, it offered the support Spanish police if they needed any additional resources. The force added that they have confirmed that at this time they are satisfied that they have the resources they need, but offer remains open and they will contact us should that position change. Mr. Slater is from the Lancashire town of Oswald Twistle. Oh, that's a tongue twister. Where specialist officers are continuing to support his family. The apprentice bricklayer was holidaying with friends in Tenerife before he disappeared. He was last heard from just after 8 a.m. on Monday when he called his friend Lucy to say he was setting off on an 11-hour walk to get home after missing the bus. She said he told her he was lost in need of water. I don't know, I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know. Let's see here. I don't know. If I was to go with my gut just thinks, I don't know, actually. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys just think that, I mean, I guess you would have to know the path of this 11-hour journey. Did he die of dehydration? 14 nights. Thanks, Trippy. Losing a child is bad enough, but to live every moment not knowing where they are, I couldn't imagine. Honestly, what this parent is going through. The parents, family members. Again, it's the most painful thing. And I would never wish that upon my worst enemy. It's just got to be the most horrific, scary, frightening, panicking, feeling to ever feel like 1 minute, you know where your child is, you talk to them, and next minute you have no clue and he's disappeared, nowhere to be found. What else we got here? Do we have any? I was hoping to see something more with a video. It's Bombshell. Who's this? What is this? Well, let's see what this is. Let's see what this is. So it says a new image has emerged of Jay Slater just hours before he vanished in Tenerife on Monday. Okay, that photograph shows Jay 19 at a rave on Sunday evening, which he left. Well, I guess I should make this bigger. And I'll just play it here. Let me take off the branding so you guys can read it as it goes along here.
Despite an extensive search using dogs, drones, and a helicopter, no trace of the 19-year-old has been found. Footage released by local authorities shows helicopters soaring across the area behind me, while firefighters, volunteers, and cops scour the ground. Jay was last heard from when he called a friend shortly before 9 a.m. on Monday, the day after he attended the NRG Dance Music Festival here in Tenerife. His last known location was on a mountain road in rural Deteno National Park on the northwest of the island. He had travelled to a rental holiday property in Masca with two older pals before attempting a 10-hour trek back to his hotel. The owner of the Airbnb revealed Jay inquired about a local bus route before leaving on a path heading up towards a mountain. Jay left the remote property situated in a deep ravine and called his friend Lucy Law, telling her his friend was about to die and he was stranded and dehydrated in the middle of nowhere. Jay, from Lancashire, has not been seen or heard from since. The Masca ravine is about 3 miles long and 2,000 feet deep, with the hiking trail leading from the hills down to the sea. Jay's family and friends are said to be drained beyond words as they struggle to find answers.
They seem to have used a good range of resources. We're talking about helicopters, drones, dogs, people on the ground. Obviously, it's a very rugged terrain to search, and will have its challenges and the potential high temperatures as well. So all that makes it quite difficult. Hard to say just how effective the search is being because I'm not there. That's not to criticise it, but it's they seem to have put a lot of effort into it anyway. Well, there are two things. One is on the investigation side to investigate or understand Jay, what his personality is, what he's like, fitness, his what he was doing. We know he was at the party and moved off. and then also and look at the last place he was seen, which give us the first start for the search, and then looking at different hypotheses to try and determine what might have happened. One obvious one was the men missing on men missing on a night out, which is some UK research that looked at young men who go out on a night out, and if they're reported missing and missing for more than 3 days, there's a high probability that they will have died. Majority go into water, probably not a situation that we'd encounter here, but 15% die on land. So it is UK research, but it still holds good elsewhere, and so that would be an initial starting point. However, we also know that a friend, he spoke to someone on the phone around 8:15, or is it 9 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, in the morning.
Yeah. So that sort of tends to move it a bit away from that. There's also the reports that he went in a car with 2 men from the party. Again, reports indicate they've now left the island. So that would be a priority action to find out what went on there, where they took him, why they've left the island. Are there any suspicious circumstances that need to be considered? And that will again inform where to search, but it also informs other lines of investigation. The 2 things go together. Well, I think that would be the main working hypothesis, that he walked off, got lost, become dehydrated and succumb to the elements or a fall. However, we mustn't make that the only line of inquiry, and we should be looking at alternatives. Why it's important to investigate what happened with the 2 guys who took him away. Does that give a different search location? Are there other things that might have come from that? I mean, stranger abduction is extremely unusual. It's talked about a lot. Statistically, it's very rare, but what happened with them needs to be investigated and understood to help move forward. So we need to move forward on multiple hypotheses and make sure that nothing is missed. Information from the public, witnesses and so on can be critical in these investigations. We would always be looking to find what other people may have seen. Speculation and rumour doesn't help. I know we've seen a lot of that with recent cases, with people getting on social media and making all sorts.
Not really sure why we don't hear anything here. It's just part of the clip. Like the volume's up, so I don't know. Must be something in this video. It's almost over anyway. But obviously there was a glitch in their video. Okay, so I wish we could hear what he's saying there, but I mean, I'll leave it there, I guess, because okay, so let me put my branding back on because I feel naked. I feel naked without it. Okay, so yeah, so let's see here. So So, okay, so let's start with Strippy Fox said a Google shows that he was involved in a brutal machete attack the year prior that went to court, was reported in the UK press, fueling the speculation that he was involved in something nefarious. It's definitely not my gut feeling on this. I feel like he's probably succumbed to the conditions. But yet, because it's one of those things, yeah? Like, but also, you know, what do we know about these two guys that he went away with are meant to be British and back in London that they left on Tuesday? Olivia's like, oh. June and Mark. Miss Lucy has also set up a GoFundMe from Lancashire and got back to Tenerife and got back from Tenerife this week. There's a lot of history behind this and scamming. And I think you're saying, in my opinion, or what's IME on there? Most definitely need to speak to those two guys. You know, so is there stuff on this Lucy law or whatever? Like I haven't dived into this, right? I only knew about this case today. I know that I seen something where that lady that her last name ends in Harg or something said that she had to stop. I remember seeing that this morning, that she had to stop posting in the Facebook group because it had like 450,000 members or something, and that there was too much conspiracies getting put in there, which is normal. That's pretty normal. June and Mark, yeah. Thank you, June and Mark. Olivia, apparently they were spoken to and said he left. Right. You know, I mean, I guess it really, again, digital data of them. So it'd be digital data of them. At the end of the day, did they say, you guys, did they say what time? Like, was this after this was after the 8 o'clock or 8 o'clock sighting that he would have been with these guys? Was it? I think it was later, right? Definitely at positive vibes. Oh, okay, I've been cleaning, so I've been in and out. Oh, okay. I did that yesterday. Yesterday, I started cleaning Olivia at 9:30. It was Friday because I have Fridays and Saturdays off. And I finished at 1 o'clock. Yeah. I was like, fine, I'll tackle the bedroom. Fine, I'll tackle the bathroom. After, oh, I even tackled my brother-in-law's room. I was like, because his room is like, in our one-bedroom apartment, his room is our fireplace room with the balcony on there. So I was like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, look on underneath the curtain and I'm like, yeah, I'm not liking what I'm seeing over there. Anyways, I ended up starting folding his clothes and putting them nicely in his dresser drawer and cleaning up his entire room as well. We've been doing the gardening today on there. Well, I don't know about you guys, but here it's 21 and sunny. It's kind of like a little bit cloudy, but it's like the sun's up right now. Nice day. But I'm telling you, we're at the end of June and they're showing rain in the forecast a lot of next week. And it's like, wait, what? Well, actually, what are they showing? See full forecast. Let's see. What do we got today? Oh, looks like it's supposed to be raining at 5 o'clock and 7. Buggers. What do we got tomorrow? 18 Monday. Well, actually, it doesn't look too bad actually, but usually the temperatures are higher. Anyways, let's get off. Sorry, I just have to look at that forecast. It's, well, yeah, that's probably pretty hot. Because I think when it was 27, it was like 80 degrees there if we were to convert. So we're probably like in the 60s, like high 60s, I guess. It's clammy. Don't you guys hate it when it's clammy and crappy? Okay, so what do you guys think of Jay Slater's case so far? Like from what you, because obviously some of you know a lot more of what's going on. I don't know, like this. So Lucy has a GoFundMe as well, does she? Let's see here. What do we got? Well, first of all, let's put Jay Slater up there. Jay, oops, go back. Okay, so she's the one that looks like started. Okay, what does this say here? All right, so this is the GoFundMe. So if anyone does want to help out for this in aid of the search, I'm about to clean my son's bathroom. Good fight. Oh, yesterday, you know, it's nothing worse though when you're cleaning up a bathroom and it's like, here, let me just lift up the toilet. Oh, look at all that piss marks. Men don't know how to aim properly on there. And it's just like with the fantastic spray, it's like, psh, 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 psh. You will never see me using whatever. It's just like, here, let me use this scrubby brush. Okay, so what do we got here? We got 27,772 pounds so far. 496 people just donated. So it says, whatever to that. Okay. So this says, hi, everyone. My name is Lucy. I have come on holiday to Tenerife to attend the NRG festival with my friend Jay and another friend. On the last day of the festival, I left alone earlier than everyone else because I was tired from the weekend. I woke up to a phone call at Jay at 8:30 a.m. saying he was lost in the mountains. He wasn't aware of his surroundings. He desperately needed a drink, and his phone was on 1%. He had met two people on Sunday night and left with them to go to their apartment. Their apartment was miles away from the civilization and is in a very secluded location. He left at 8 a.m. and walked half an hour before frantically ringing me when his phone, when his phone reached 1%. This was 3 days ago now, and no one has seen or heard from him since. His last location was an off-road track, which was a 10-hour walk from his hotel. The weather conditions up there are terrible for someone in shorts and a t-shirt, both in day and at night. He has no water for when it's warm throughout the day. He has no coat, suitable clothing when it's cold at night. It was 1 degree and extremely windy when I was out looking in the middle of the night. We are so worried and we just want him home. Please help if you can and share far and wide. Okay. So that's the fundraiser. Okay, so this is my personal thoughts or my gut feeling is that I think that he succumbed to the conditions. I don't feel like Lucy May has anything to do at all with his disappearance. I think that this is a boy that, you know, like a lot of people sometimes they're like, yeah, no, I'll find my way back. I'm having too much fun here. You know, gets up and leaves. But to think to walk a 10-hour trip and know that your phone barely has any battery, let alone any water, and you're taking this journey of a place that he doesn't obviously really know. That's my gut feeling is that he succumbed to dehydration. I don't feel anything nefarious with this case. Besides he made the wrong choice. Which led him there. I don't know. That's my feeling on it. What do you guys think? Scotland. No. hot in there, but chilly. Yeah. Florida gets more than its share of positive vibes. Or you guys are still on about that sun on there. What do you guys think of this though? I'm not, if basically he left, like he left those two boys' apartment or wherever they were staying, the ones that are back in the UK, and then headed off on this journey, and then he gets a phone call, you know, when his battery maybe they maybe he took some pictures of where he was around, you know, maybe, but remember, LE's only going to show us what they want to show you. They're not going to show you everything, right? So they're not going to sit there if they're going to set you a picture of him, but they're not going to give anything because they don't want people out there trying to search if they put up a picture of the area that he was. Like if he did happen to send Lucy that. Yeah. Yeah, I've read up on cases where the damnedest things sometimes, I remember there was a case in the desert in Las Vegas somewhere, and it's like the car was found and then her body was found like a mile away. And you would think to yourself, and it was just from dehydration, like no water, but you would think that they would head down the road, not so much towards, the dunes or whatever. The question is, you need to ask is why he would leave his friends to go back to well, that's just it, Strippy. I'll tell you. Like my thing is this. It is not uncommon for this to happen. I mean, I've watched it happen multiple times where you're with friends and you go, "Come on, it's time to go." And that person is drunk as a skunk and they're like, "No, having too much fun here. Don't worry." Right? Like that's a common occurrence. So that's kind of what I see happening here is she left early, right? Now there was somebody else, and this guy, Jay Slater, but I can easily see that happening because sometimes when you meet someone, okay, first of all, when you meet people, most times you never think of anything nefarious going to happen to you, right? You try to take people at face value that, hey, there's some good guys here partying. They're from England too, and da 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 da. You go on, okay, you leave early. I'm just going to hang with them and I'll get away. But he misses his bus or whatever, So I don't think that there's anything too shady about that because that's a very common thing that happens when people are drinking. Yeah, no, you go ahead. Yeah, drinking was involved. They were at the rave. Yeah. I can guarantee there was going to be. Hey, Bogey, how are you? So he left the two strangers, and the two strangers were not helping him return to where he needed to go. No, because he was supposed to catch. Apparently, he was going to catch a bus, and that's why he asked the lady a couple times, like about the bus, and then he missed the bus. So he decided, I guess, he was going to walk it, probably thinking, all right, I'll just go on an adventure of walking. So yeah, so I mean, from what I'm reading, he was at this rave, and he went back to this, like Lucy said, like to these two guys, to wherever their apartment was. He left in the morning, and then then that lady saying that she had saw him a couple times, and that he asked her about the bus twice, and he missed the bus. He calls Lucy at 8:35, and basically has 1% battery and no water. So this just sounds to me that someone that was having a great time, came across a couple people, probably felt like that they were like got to know, people, like I said, like it's not like that's uncommon for that to happen. It's very common that people do that, especially if there's going to be drinking involved, you know. Now, at the end of the day, is like I said, that's a very common thing. I wouldn't do it, but you never know, right? What people do, because again, maybe they bonded rather quickly and they was just like, yeah, just and these guys said, yeah, just whatever, come stay at our place tonight, head out in the morning or something like that. It seems like what he did. Hi, Lisa. Like, that's just my interpretation. That's my feeling so far of this case. I think, for me, I personally think that he will be found soon, and he won't be alive. That he'll have succumbed to dehydration. That's what I'm feeling myself. I don't think that even the other two boys had anything to do with it. Because trust me, you know, um, that's what digital data, right, of those boys. The digital data is going to place them, where they are. The digital data is going to place Jay. If he was walking and he was in that area by himself, and those other two boys' phones aren't pinging in that same area, right? Then we would more likely, be changed very fast to homicide if they felt like these other two boys had anything to do with it. Because it's kind of, I think, what, this is like the 6th day now. Yeah. The place he allegedly stayed with the two guys, the bus stop is right outside their apartment on there. But you know what I mean? I mean, it's one of those things, like, there's some very kind people in the world. Maybe he didn't want to ask them. Maybe they didn't offer. Um, what I don't understand is, like, I don't know about this Lucy person. Like, if there was, like, did they not have any sort of vehicle, obviously? Like, how did she get back? Like, she got back somehow. That's the part that seems a little bit weird to me, is that if my friend said that they were lost and had whatever, um, like, I would be instantly like, like, take pictures, call the police, whatever, show where he's around. But I don't know, because they're on vacation. But she obviously got home herself somehow, because it's like, I think, what was it, like a 30-minute drive or something like that, but like a 10-hour walk. Would you really embark on a 10-hour walk because you missed a bus with limited water? And well, that would be common sense, right, Sirpy? Because in my head, I think the same thing. Like, really, dude? Like, you don't know that your phone's on low battery and that you don't have any water as you're going to embark on this journey? But what I've come to learn myself is that maybe something we wouldn't do, others do, right? People do a lot of dumbass shit. And that's just the thing, is that common sense would think, like, for instance, I mean, I wouldn't be taking no 10-hour walk. Are you kidding me? But that's me. I can't speak for this Jay Slater, because what a lot of people wouldn't do, a lot of people also would do, especially if they're into hiking and all this different stuff. For him, he was probably just like, yeah, what an adventure. I mean, it seems like a very stupid thing to do, for sure. But I don't know. I'm just like these are like, I think it's with any case, right? It's kind of like what we think and what actually somebody does are two different things, because it's easy to sit there and say, well, I wouldn't go on this 10-hour walk, because I wouldn't. My ass would be not doing no 10-hour trek by myself. I would be looking to get money to get a drive up there, or something. But maybe to him, he's an adventurer. I don't know. I just know that I just get the vibe that, he started on this journey, didn't even think about it, at all. And that they're probably going to find him dehydrated. That's my personal opinion. That's just the vibe I'm getting myself. Yeah. you know. Like I said, it's really each to their own mindset, because there's definitely common sense thinking, and common sense would say, first I would be looking at my phone, like, meaning if my phone didn't have much charge in it, I'd make sure that that phone was charged before I even freaking thought about doing a 10-hour venture. And I'd be having water, of course, or something to drink. But that's just what I would do. That doesn't mean everyone's brains are, full functioning there, or, you know what I mean? I only wish he had asked for help or someone offered to help him. Only he was a tourist who was lost, especially after the Riley Strain case. Oh, yeah, I know. We followed the Riley Strain case. Another very sad case, alcohol, ends up dead. And, I'm that one I wasn't participating in the, whole, like, if they say it's an accidental death, it pretty much seemed like it was. Well, once the bank card was found and stuff like that, at first, like, I just couldn't believe that these people were making, with Riley Strain's case, what I can't believe is people were actually making up shit about this shirt, and how that was spreading around. Like, it just, and then he was found with his, like, sure, he wasn't found with his pants and whatever. Okay, that's part strange, but he had the shirt on. So, you have these people that are like, that they believe that they saw this shirt, and this person saying, yeah, da 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 da, and up being like, none of that was true. And it's like, what do you people do? Just make up shit? Like, because the shirt was on him when he was found. But that one, Riley Strange, was another weird one. But his was a lot easier to understand than Sebastian's case. Sebastian's case, there's no understanding Sebastian's case. There's only a couple options of what happened to the child, but yet there's nothing to lead one way or the other. People seem friendly in other countries. I wouldn't take a ride in America. Well, look what happened to those two brothers and that friend going to Mexico, minding their own ass business, enjoying themselves, and yet they get caught because these Mexican dudes, whatever, wanted to steal their tires. And then they got all shot to death and put in a well. And then they end up finding another body in that same well. And it was those same ass people that ended up killing that other fourth body that was in the well. And yet they were just camping, minding their own business, surfing or whatever they were doing and stuff like that. Like, there's some crazy shit that happens sometimes in these countries. I remember going to England and I felt like I was like, it felt so strange. Like, I felt so lost. It was such a weird vibe. And I'm not going to lie, you got some ignorant ass people at those airports in England. I'll tell you that much. Frickin' ass BITCH. That was that thing. I'm in this long ass queue. My husband gets to go in right away because he's from England. I have to stand in this long ass queue, and I get up front, and then this black lady, British black lady, she was just so ignorant. And then when I asked, I said something like, hey, do you know where this is? And the person looks at me and goes, you know how to read a sign? I'm just like, jerk off. Like, really? So it left me with a very bad taste at the start. But I ended up enjoying it. Like, I mean, I enjoyed it, but I just couldn't believe the ignorance of, like, how you're getting treated just by people, like, by the lady at the airport, the one that, let me see your passport. Let me see. And you're just like, can you smile a little bit? You have yourself a great day, okay? You see how it seemed to be a series of poor decisions within a very short period of time. Yeah, it seems as if this timeline is true. He seemed very desperate to get away from that apartment, just saying. Well, I honestly feel, Strippy, that the answer for this case is going to come very soon. I honestly do. Hi, Sonia. That's my name too, but mine's with a Y. My nickname is Sunny. But What if the two strangers had drugs? He doesn't look like a drug user. He didn't just. Please don't get mad at my comment. Oh, everyone's entitled to their thoughts. Mine are just thoughts as well. We don't know what happened to Jay Slater, right? We don't know what happened. So up until that time, my own personal opinion is that I'm not feeling anything nefarious myself. I'm just thinking that he made some poor decisions, like I said, and those poor decisions will have cost him his life. That's my opinion. It doesn't make it true. Well, especially like I can totally see, like I said, people go on, hi Angel, like, hey, like, yeah, you just go on, I'll catch up with you later, meet you, whatever. I'm having too much fun over here. This stuff happens all the time. But is it a good, wise choice to make? Absolutely not. You should always stick with your friends, So many rude people over here. Well, not gonna lie. There were some really nice people, but I mean, that was just my first impression. Was like the two people that I kind of talked to were like such dicks. I think it depends on the country and what. Right, exactly. Well, I mean, just like Mexico, you're told never to leave the resort, and visiting and stuff like that. On there. Sonia. He's a young missing man. Hope he is found safe. Well, that would be the best case scenario, honestly, but I don't think that's going to happen in this case myself. I unfortunately think that poor decisions will have left him without water, and just because let me Google that. Let's see. So it says usually a person may survive for only 3 days without water, but this may change depending on the person's body's need. No one can live more than 5 to 6 days without water. Let's see. Dying from dehydration is generally not uncomfortable once the initial feelings of thirst subside. If you stop eating and drinking, death can occur as early as a few days, though for most people, approximately 10 days is the average, in rare instances, the post-death, right? But I guess that goes with the temperatures as well. What organ shut down first when dehydrated? Your kidneys don't have enough water to filter your blood adequately, which can lead to kidney insufficiency or kidney failure. Yeah. And then, like I said, so you throw on these conditions of, like you guys saw, right? Let's go back to that for a second. Let's see. Let's go back to that for a second. This one here. I mean, okay, dude, we don't want to see your face. Like look at that, right? Hot day. I mean, you guys remember there was that one story too, where that person was hiking and she didn't have any water, and like she literally died in a day. It was in some sort of desert, and I remember, I can't, like, I remember the gist of the story. And she didn't have water. And she literally died in a day. I can't think of the story. He's young, so fingers crossed. Yeah, but come on. I mean, honestly, we're on day, 6? We can pray. We'll always pray for the best outcome on there for sure, right? Until something says that he is passed or something like that, we can always send out prayers, and hope that he is found alive. it's just hard because like in my heart, you know, it's like you're saying prayers, hopefully he's alive, but I'm not a person that can ever fake my feelings or emotions. So it's kind of like as I'm saying that, I'm like, you know, chances are he's not on there. Okay, what time is it? Oh, we're at the 1 hour. Well, I think probably it's going to be time to go, I suppose. It's like 2 hours in. Hopefully, you guys hit the like and the share, just for bringing awareness, of course, to the case on there. Yeah, so I think I'm going to go see what my husband wants to do for his birthday, if he wants to go out for dinner or what he wants to do on there. Yeah. But anyways, you guys, prayers for Sebastian Rogers, of course, prayers for Jay Slater, you know. Very sad. There's nothing nice about these cases, to be honest with you. It always makes me very sad that I don't really I've never really liked talking about things that where other people are hurt or missing, and knowing that the family is, you know, just in horrific feelings right now, wondering, you know, where Jay is, you know, where Sebastian is and stuff like that. The worst feelings ever for parents that, you know, truly love their kids, and, you know, to not know. I think with Jay that there's going to be answers very soon for Jay. Myself, Sebastian. I don't feel like there's going to be answers soon with Sebastian, to be honest with you. Yeah, thank you. I'll tell my husband. You guys said happy birthday on there. Yeah, you have a nice night. And thank you, Sharon. Okay. Coincidence that this comes less than 2 weeks. Comes less than 2 weeks that a high-profile English TV presenter disappeared and died in a very similar circumstance and on an island in Greece. Did they find him? Did they find him stripping? Or was it a her? 200 active missing children here in the whole of UK. Safer than people think. On there. I wonder what the population is of the UK. On there. You know, Canada's like 35 million. You know, we got this vast amount of land, but the population. United States is like 350 million on there. Let's see here. Population in United Kingdom. You guys got, heck, back in 2022, you guys got, okay, so you guys are like pretty much, back in 2022 it's showing. Okay, so it's about the same for 2024. You guys basically have 68 million. Okay. Oh, wow. We got 41 million apparently now. Yeah. So isn't that funny? We have way more land than you guys in the United Kingdom. Like our land mass is enormous, right? But yet we only have 41 million. And you guys are a lot smaller in the UK for land mass, you know, but you guys definitely have a ton of accents within that. But you guys like have 69 million. And then the States, United States, let's see, population in USA. USA. Yeah, so I was close, 341 million. You know, big difference, eh? Uh-huh. Yeah, he was found dehydrated a few days later. Wait, was that one? Okay, so he died. I mean, we are in the, I mean, we are, I don't know about like you guys, but like, I mean, we are in the height of summertime and hotter heats and stuff like that, you know? Mm. Joe boy. What an influx. Yeah. Who's messaging? Oh, it's just family chat. Okay, doctor, yes, and a man died on there. Okay. Well, you guys, I'm going to head off now. Thank you guys very much for if you subscribed or watched or whatever. Prayers for Jay Slater and his family. Prayers for Sebastian Rogers. And hopefully he's found as well. Anyways, thank you guys for watching today. And you guys have a great day, all right? Have a great weekend. And yeah, I'll see you at some point next week at some point. That's the best I can do. See you at some point next week. You guys take care. Have a great day and God bless. All right. Stay safe. Drink water and don't get dehydrated and stuff. Anyways, you guys take care. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, mods. Yeah, we're here. Where was Ben today? Ben. Where was Ben? Okay, here comes the outro. Goodbye, guys.